So this is going to be going over how to clear Showdown field on a new account. One thing to keep in mind is that there are the additional effects, which gives you more currency based on the units that you're using. For any new accounts, you can only roll Rinak at this point because she's still on banner for another week or so. So Rinak plus Victorika is what you should ideally be using. Crow's not up anymore. But after Rinak is gone, you can't get her anymore. So I will also be going over a team that does not use Rinak. And also, one more thing to keep in mind is that this event is currently bugged, where sometimes you don't get this additional effect for some reason. No one really knows the exact reason why it happens, but I would be a little bit wary about farming this event until they issue a bug fix for it. The event does last for 4 weeks, so we've got quite a bit of time before we actually have to start farming it. So, this is the team I'll be using. It's got Tamarinne, Ras, just pretty much our 2 core PvE units, and our DPS is either going to be Rinak if you have her, because bonus currency plus this fight just heavily favors Rinak in the first place. And if you don't have Rinak, then we can just use good old Cermia. Does the same thing she always does, ton of damage. So the event, or the boss rather, if I can see it here, does have a thing here which says that when you crit it, it gets 20% CR push and reduces skill cooldowns by 1 turn. This isn't really an issue. It doesn't do enough damage to actually kill you from what I've seen. So this hasn't been an issue for me yet. So I just completely ignored the don't crit him part and we just use Cermia. This team might also sound a little bit slow. One thing to keep in mind is that we can simply just quick battle it. 10 quick battles a day, 20 while the Catch Siege event is still here for the next 2 weeks. So I think you definitely prioritize safety over speed because we can just quick battle, and you'd much rather have your quick battles succeed than have them be slightly faster. So let's get into everyone's stats. I'm going to put Rinak back here real quick. First up is Ras. Ras, this is just his plus 15 HP set gear from Path of Air. And I'm using Arius to help reduce the damage into our backline. Normal Ras build, I could show the gear stats here, but it's literally just a plus 15 gear, except I reforged the right side pieces. Next up is Tamarinne. Tamarinne, she is also just on her Path of Air gear, the ones that you get for completing her connection. And her gear is pretty decently rolled, at least on some of these pieces, but it's not really too important what you have on her. Magraha's Tomb to help out with her cycling, of course. And then there is Victorika. I think Victorika's a completely useless unit, so I am not building her. This is her gear, and that's it. For her artifact, though, if you have any growth bonus artifacts, which new accounts won't, but for any returning players or just veterans that are watching this, you can give her an EXP boosting artifact. This stage does have the stigma bar for overflow EXP, so EXP boosting artifacts would give you a little bit more stigma. Or you could try to friendship farm her a little bit. And then lastly is Rinak. Well, not lastly, we'll show Cermia too, but Rinak, I kind of just gave her some random gear with speed and attack and some HP. This is 19 speed, but these boots aren't reforged, so this is basically a -5. This might as well be 14. And I just randomly geared her, and it's fine. Her stats are, like, pretty bad. There's way too much crit chance and way too much crit damage. But it doesn't really matter. She can work on just about anything for this stage. Just make her fast, honestly. Fast with a little bit of HP and you'll be fine. And then for her artifact, if you have her personal artifact, you can use that. Otherwise, I think RNL is pretty good on her. Besides that, you could just use any artifact, honestly. I don't think it really matters that much. And of course we have the Rinak replacement, who is going to be Cermia. Cermia, her stats, this is actually my best Destro pen gear, because I was using her for Abyss. You can just give her Destro pen gear. And I'm using Daydream Joker because I checked all the skills, checked the immunities. Pretty sure he's not immune to max HP damage. You could also just give her something like any damage boosting artifact could be fine. Most of the tankiness of this boss comes from it having a bunch of damage reduction. Not actually sure how high its HP pool is. For Artifact, you can use the S1 extra attack if you want to hit it more times to reduce its damage reduction. I'm using Barrier because I was using it for a different Abyss floor, but also because, like I said, I value safety more than clear speed, I'd rather have the Barrier. That is it for everyone's stats. I'll show the Rinak auto run, and then I'll do 10 quick battles, and then we'll do the Cermia run, and then we'll do 10 more quick battles.
쉽지 않을 거야.
한수 알려주지. 대가는 치러야겠지. 저리 가세요. 발버둥 쳐봤자야. 날 따돌릴 듯. 너 같은 건 껌이거든? 까불지 마! 라라라 새 노래는? 들어주세요! 신사숙녀 여러분! 대가는 치러야겠지? 이 정도는 거뜬하지? 미로! 여기에요! 맡겨만 줘! 이게 다야? 반짝이네?
너 운명도 나를 막지는 못해.
바닥에 소용없어! 겁쟁이 같은 수를 그래봤자 이 몸은 저리 가세요.
받아라.
뭐가 대가는 치러야겠지? 새 노래는? 들어주세요. 신사숙녀 여러분. 까불지 마. 함께해요. 갈게. 너 같은 건 껌이거든. 이 정도는 거뜬하지? 미로.
여기.
맡겨만 줘. 반짝이네. 바닥에 소용없어.
아벨 정화의 불길이여.
발버둥 쳐봤자야. 날 따돌릴 듯. 저리 가세요.
각오하는 게 좋아.
뭐가 대가는 치러야겠지? 이게 다야? 새 노래는? 들어주세요. 신사숙녀 여러분. 여기에요. 갈게.
So that was the clear, and yes, it was extremely slow. But now let's try clearing this event in the fastest way possible. So we got our 10 clears. Freaking painless. That's why I say that your clear speed does not really matter. You can just do your 20 quick battles a day, later on 10 in the last 2 weeks, and it'll be fine. We also didn't have the bug occur, where our event currency boost wasn't proccing, so still not too sure what's going on there. Now we can swap in Cermia, and we can take a look at a full auto, and then we will do a set of 10 quick battles as well. Also looking at its HP after doing that Rinak run, it had 80,000 HP, which isn't a lot. I don't know whether Daydream Joker does more than something like a plus 15 symbol. I'm just going to leave it though.
불타올라라. 승리의 태양이여.
난 실전에서 절대 봐주지 않는다고.
받아라.
간다. 건방지게 굴지 말라고. 금지까지. 다들 잘 봤다고? 나랑 내기할래? 앞으로 얼마나 더 버틸 수 있을지. 자. 새 노래를 들어주세요. 반짝이는
어떤 운명도 나를 막지는 못해.
함께해요. 좋았어.
쉽지 않을 거야.
간다. 신사숙녀 여러분. 여기 나한테 붙은 거다. 화끈하게. 모두 날려버리자. 저리 가세요. 새 노래를 들어주세요. 반짝이는
악을 불태우고 정화의 불길이여.
여기에요. 좋았어.
받아라.
간다. 신사숙녀 여러분. 샤이니. 가볼까? 나랑 내기할래? 앞으로 얼마나 더 버틸 수 있을지. 새 노래를 들어주세요. 반짝이는
불타올라라. 승리의 태양이여.
So that's it for the clear. Again, a slower run. But now let's do 10 quick battles and we'll see how it goes. We are here again, 10 for 10. Didn't have the thing bug out at all either. There was a theory that it was just if your like supporter died, then you lose the bonus, but it worked fine for me. I've seen people also say that if it's just if you fail a run, then it stops working. Don't know, again, I would be careful about farming this too early. But even this non-Rinak team still cleared 10 for 10. Watching the run, it did not seem like we were under any threat at any point in the run. So I am kind of down to say this is 100%. Which is nice because, like, we still want this event to be accessible. even for people who don't have Rinak, sure, you get less currency for it, but if you clear the runs fine, then it doesn't matter, right? At least for people who are joining the game much later. Also, most importantly to me, I don't have to actually build Victorika because I think she is useless. I'm also just learning that her name is spelled with a C and not a K here. Shows how much I actually use her, but yeah, I think she is a useless unit, so I'm very glad that I don't actually have to build her, even on the new account. Definitely not building her on main. But that is it for this video. If you're curious about whether or not this event's even worth doing, you can check out my other video, which I'll have in the description. But good that we can clear this event very easily, even on a completely new account.